What's up YouTube, it's Deanna from Windy City Vape Reviews, and today we'll be doing a review of the Sense Herakles V2. There's a quick peek at it. I did get it in the black. Before we take a up close and personal look, let me give you some of the specs on it. So it is a 22mm diameter tank, has top fill capability, 2 milliliter tank capacity, combines the Bihata Mermaid and Herakles Plus form factors, convenient top fill, compact profile, outstanding performance, independently adjustable juice control, quad adjustable bottom airflow, compatible with the Herakles Plus coil platform, tri-parallel coil design Sense patented. It comes pre-installed with a 0.4 ohm Canthal coil, which is rated from 35 to 100 watts. And then it also has a 0.2 316L stainless steel coil, excuse me, which is rated from 35 to 80 watts. It has copper contacts and then 303 stainless steel and glass construction. So let us dive down, take an up close and personal look, then we'll come back up top. I'll take it for a vape and give you my pros and my cons. Alright, we are going to do an up close and personal look at the Sense Herakles V2, and this is the box that it comes in. Not a whole lot of information on the box or on the little sleeve itself. It does come in one of these really super shiny plastic containers, so I am not going to even deal with that. There is your tank. This is your spare glass piece. And the extra coil, this is the 316L, rated for 35 to 80 watts. You can see the nice large juice flow holes there. It does have the screen guard for spit back protection, and then there is the triple coil inside. Yeah, pretty neat. So this is basically the little bit of information that they give you on there. It does say it comes in rose gold, but I only saw it in black and stainless, and I went ahead and got the black because I like black. And I'm going to take this out and just show you the back side real quick. Gives you a little more information, so if you'd like to read it in its entirety, go ahead and pause the video. Your QR code and the scratch for authenticity, and just a little more information. So put this off to the side, and here is your tank. You can see it has the Sense stamped into it on top, and it is pretty deep in there. And then the Herakles V2, your on off for your juice flow. Just turn it. It's kind of hard to see with the black, but there it is, open. This is not the drip tip that came on here, sorry. This is actually the drip tip that came on there, but I don't really care for it. It is some kind of plastic, I'm assuming Dauren. It has a white base for some reason. I mean, it works fine. I didn't have an issue with the actual diameter or anything. It just seemed to get much hotter than the one that I put on there. And this is a top flow, or I'm sorry, top fill. So there is the inside, if the camera will focus. That is where you fill. So it's got some really large fill holes, and then that is the top of the chimney. And this is your airflow. It does have 4 Cyclops style airflow holes, but they are kind of small, so you don't get as much airflow as you do on some of your bigger tanks. But there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll take off the bottom. And I have been using mine. I typically film these before I start to use them, but because of the issues I've been having from surgery, I haven't been able to do it yet, and I really wanted a few days to check it out. So this is the 0.4 Canthal, And there is your base. There is my juice. There's the bottom. The copper 510 connection, copper plated 510 connection. And let me grab my TFE4 micro and show you size difference. Hold on one second. Alright, so here is the TFE4 micro. So size-wise, the Herakles V2 is just slightly taller, but same diameter. So again, just a tad bit taller. So that is the up close and personal for the Herakles V2. We're going to take it back up top, take it for a vape, and I'll give you my pros and my cons. So that was the up close and personal look at the Sense Herakles V2. Excuse me, I don't know what is wrong with me today. So now I'm going to go ahead and go over some of the pros and the cons. So I'll take it for another vape and let you see the vapor production on it. So I do have the 0.4 ohm Canthal coil in here right now. I have the airflow completely open and I'm vaping it at 70 watts. Now, the pros for this tank. I actually love the size of this tank. I know I have some that have bigger capacity like the TFE4 and the Crown tank and my Gemini RTA, but if you're looking for something more compact and you want something that will fit in the pocket better, this is actually a really great tank. I love that it has the top fill. I absolutely love that it has the independent juice control, so you can turn off the juice flow while you're filling, so you have less leakage. I have had this for about 4 days now and have been vaping on it just so that I can give you, instead of just, you know, my first impression, I can let you know what I've thought so far. I have had it in my pocket and have had no issues at all with leaking whatsoever, which is just fantastic because most tanks do have some bit of leaking every now and then, but so far I have not had any leaking issues with this tank at all. I love the fact that you can completely break the tank down to make it easier to clean. That is wonderful. I did not like the drip tip that was included with it, so I did go ahead and change it out to a Delrin drip tip that I have. The tip that it came with, it is Delrin, but it seemed to get much hotter when I was using that one than when I used this. And then it does get a little warm if you're kind of chain vaping. I have put it up to, I think, 75 or 80 watts, and it starts to get really warm. I like a warm vape, but it gets a little bit too warm for me. I'm going to put it at 75 right now. And I have this on my Smock R80. So at 75, it's still a really good vape. It's a little bit warmer, but not too warm. Pretty good vapor production, seeing that it's just a stock coil. I'll go ahead and bump it up to 80. So it does get warmer. I could probably bump it up higher, but this only goes, my Smoke R80 only goes to 80 watts, so I wouldn't be able to do it on here. But honestly, it starts to get a little bit too warm for me. I really do prefer it at 70 watts. And let me tell you, the flavor on this thing is fantastic. But flavor on this one, it does have a very short chimney. So you're getting that vapor right up, and which is probably why it's a much warmer vape than other tanks that I have at the same wattage. I have not tried the 316L yet. When I do, I'll probably throw it into another video as kind of an update to let you know how it works in temp control and in wattage mode. But so far, I'm loving this. And this, for some people, this may be a con. The size, the 2 milliliter capacity, you do go through juice pretty quickly, especially when you're vaping at higher watts. But for me, it's not an issue because of the fact that it is a top fill, and it does have the juice control flow that you can turn off, so it's not like you're leaking everywhere every time you're trying to fill it. It, you know, comes off really easily. Has those large juice fill holes in there, so filling is definitely not an issue whatsoever for me. And because I like to change flavors so often, I actually kind of like that, because some of my bigger tanks, by the time I'm almost halfway done or a little more than halfway, I'm like, oh come on, I want a different juice already. So for me, not an issue. But if you're looking for something with a larger capacity, or you're a chain vapor, this may not be the one for you. You might want to go with the Herakles Plus or the original Herakles, which I've heard has fantastic flavor on it also. So price. I got this from ecigaretteempire.com. That's ecigaretteempire.com. It was $19.99. And that was actually a couple dollars cheaper than anywhere else that I had seen it. So for $19.99 to get 2 coils and a spare glass tank, fantastic deal. I really don't have any other cons with it personally myself, other than the drip tip that it came with. And just to let you know, it does not fit every single 510 drip tip. I do have some Dot Mod clone little drip tips that I tried to put on here, and for some reason, even though they have a shorter little base, it would not go down all the way. But any other ones that I have tried have fit with no problem. So it just seems to be my little cheapy Dot Mod clone ones. Other than that, drip tip and airflow. Airflow is not going to be as wide open as some of your other tanks like the Crown and the TFE4, or like my Gemini RTA. It does have 4 airflow holes, but they are kind of small Cyclops holes, so you're not getting a ton of airflow, which probably is why it has such good flavor. So if you like a lot of airflow, it's not going to be the tank for you either. But again, if you want something that's smaller and a little more discreet, I do have the mini TFE4 Micro, actually, that goes with this tank. They're very similar in size, but quite honestly, I think the flavor on this one beats out my TFE4, which I thought I would never say, because I am a huge TFE4 fan. I have the original one plus the Micro one. But compared to the Micro, this one definitely has better flavor. So that is it for today's review. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more upcoming vaping related news and reviews. And until next time, I hope you have a great day and keep calm and vape on.